Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. I'm Sarah, this is Gideon, and we are a family of 8 kids at home. Myself and Mark, my husband, here at home too, right? And we really like the library. So I'm doing a library haul video today. This guy just wanted to snuggle, so he's with mommy because we're trying to get the video done because we're gonna have to go in town and take the books back, right? Anyway, I've got 2 big bags of books that are going back, and then I have a big stack I want to tell you about. But the first thing I want to say is why we have in the past said my Wimmel books are good, and a lot of them are. I've shown some of them on the other videos. My tractor, we didn't find any problems with. So there was a tractor one. There was, I don't know, there were other ones, but we got one this time that is called My Busy Day, and that one has a homosexual couple and a wedding in it. So you can choose whether that is something you want to explain to your kids and family and everything. It was something that we are not getting that book. And because I have mentioned their books in the past, I wanted to mention that that one is not okay. So make sure you look through. I actually didn't even notice it. We've gotten those books before. He wanted the new one that was at the library, so we took it home and we saw it. At our house, we have a special place that we set down our books that are not okay for looking at, because like one time I got one that was had Spanish and English, and I kind of flipped through it quick and I didn't see that there was a page for the Day of the Dead. So when we found that, we put it on the shelf for the kids not to read. We have explained that to the kids. It's depending on how things are explained, depend on whether we use the book or not. So just for your family to know, my Wimmel books, a lot of them are really good, but that one was not. So I wanted to give a warning on that. Anyway, these are the books we really liked. So first one, The Secret Project by Jonah Winter and Jeanette Winter. And this book talks about the secret project in New Mexico where there was government work and the people didn't really know exactly what they were doing. But the book ends with this. So I think you can figure out what's going on. It has words. Some of the pages don't, but it's a very short book. It's a picture book. And we read it to the kids. It explains kind of the process in very simple terms. So, The Secret Project. The next book we enjoyed, They're Off, The Story of the Pony Express by Cheryl Harness. This is a story about how the Pony Express went out west taking mail. It explains like the first ride and how it was kind of like a race. It is a longer book, and there's some very intricate pictures that tell the history of what was going on in the country during that time. It's a great book to read aloud for younger ones to listen to, but also for older ones to just explore the book themselves. Cheryl Harness has a couple other books. We have read 3 Young Pilgrims. We enjoyed that. There's a book about the Erie Canal. We enjoyed that. This one is called Ghosts of the White House. I have not read that, and so I do not approve. I am not giving my approval on that one, but we have enjoyed these 2 books by this author. And again, I don't know exactly what this book says, because sometimes people use ghosts to mean like the history of something or whatever. So I'm not giving a clear direction on that one. Next book, The Thanksgiving Door. Debbie Atwell is a local author. Don't look at my unbrushed hair. Okay, we're trying to get a bunch done this morning. Debbie Atwell is a local author, and she is a very good illustrator also. And so this story is about, you'll hear kids in the other room. They're folding laundry and stuff. This story is about a couple, an older couple. She accidentally burns Thanksgiving dinner, so they're like, oh, we're gonna have to go out to eat. They go to the new restaurant in town and see the door open, but it was actually supposed to be a family celebration, but getting cultures together for Thanksgiving is, it's an interesting book. She has other books that we have liked. The Ride, he's trying to tell people to be quiet because I'm doing a video. The Ride is The Legend of Betsy Dowdy. This is a book about a girl. I think I mentioned this maybe on my last video. And she rode during the Revolutionary War to tell them the British were coming. It may be just a legend. It may not be a true story, but there was a girl, Sybil Luddington, who did the same thing. So this is a legend from that era. They can't verify it, but it was very much, it could have happened. Okay, this is The Scallop Christmas or The Scallop Christmas, depending where you're from. A lot of people in Maine say scallop, so that's what I'm going to say. But this book is by Jane Freeburg. It's about a time in history where there was, I think it's the Depression. They had the school kids take off the week so that they could go out scalloping. The kids didn't do the work, but everybody in the boat could get a whole bushel of scallops. So in the book, Dad does the work. The kids are in the boat so that Dad can count that many scallops. And this is just a really good story about a family working together to accomplish what is needed for their family. And the the kids are paid patience money for sitting in the boat for those hours, just a family coming together. We really enjoyed this book. It's a Maine book, so I don't know if you can find it at your local library, but it was good. If you're from Maine, it's a good book. If you're not from Maine, it's a good book to show what some of the people do in Maine with lobstering and like scalloping and around the seafood industry. This book we've read before, Skillet Bread, Sourdough, and Vinegar Pie, Cooking in Pioneer Days. And it talks about cooking over an open fire and cooking with buffalo dung as your fuel because there was not trees around and that type of thing. It's by Loretta Francis Ecord, and it actually has recipes in it, but it also tells stories from the plains. So this was a really good book. We've read it before, and Abigail found it and wanted to read it. Boss of the Plains, The Hat That Won the West by Lori Carlson. It is about the Stetson? Is that the name? Yeah, John Stetson, and why he developed this hat and why cowboys wanted to wear it. It's a picture book. So we got a lot of books that were like real life stories about real life things, but we enjoyed this book. Classified, The Secret Career of Mary Golda Ross, Cherokee Aerospace Engineer by Tracy Sorrell. We've found it interesting to see minorities and women in different fields that they were kind of hush-hush. The women were doing the work, or the minorities were doing the work, but a lot of the people that you saw in these jobs that were like front and center of these jobs were white men. And so just seeing how culture has changed and things like that. But she learned and was able to do aerospace engineering. And so that was really neat. Mechanical Harry, if you stay around to the end of this video, you'll see my kids mention some of these books. This was one of the favorites of Uriah. This guy used Rube Goldberg's machines to get stuff done at home. It's a cartoon book. We like it. The next book is the post office book, Mail and How It Moves. And so it goes through history, how mail was started. It's picture book form. But we read this just to see how letters get to the other side of the country. Malachi will mention this at the end of the video. And he'll mention these two books. Step Gently Out. This just has a little poem that goes through the story, but the pictures are just amazing. So this one is about bugs. Step Gently Out. So I'll show you another picture. We liked this book. It is by Helen Frost and Rick Leiter. And Wake Up is another book by the same people. And this one is birds and other animals, but it has bigger animals than so frogs, all that stuff. We have a little boy who really needs a nap. We had church yesterday, and he didn't get a full nap because he slept on the way home. This one's mentioned at the end. My Name is Sungol. We have read a book by this author before, Karen Lynn Williams. She wrote a book about two sandals, 4 feet or something like that. 2 little girls were sharing a pair of sandals in a refugee camp. This one's about a little boy who moved to the United States and he's trying to teach people his name. My name is Sungol. Sungol is how it's pronounced. I read it wrong the whole time, but at the end of the book it tells you how to say it.
At the end of the book, what did they tell you about?
Eggs 1, 2, 3. We liked this, and Uriah. We'll explain that at the end. That was a good book. Sorry, that was really loud. Leah's Pony. This is during the time of the Depression. She saves her daddy's farm by selling her pony. It's sad. It's a good book. Definitely read it. Oh, sorry. The author of this one is Elizabeth Friedrich. The sun's shining on it. I couldn't see it.
Okay. Hidden
Hope. How a Toy and a Hero Saved Lives During the Holocaust by Elisha Boxer. She, this little girl was going into places with messages hidden in this duck, and she was able to save children. Rainbow Weaver. Uriah will talk about this, a neat way that shows how you can recycle things to make things and clean up your village. And the last book I'm going to mention is A Place to Hang the Moon. We read this because someone that I follow on Instagram does a lot of read alouds with her kids. She mentioned this book. It was really good. I read it aloud to the kids. There were a few parts. I can remember one bad word in it. There may have been another, but I skipped that word. But otherwise, these 3 little kids are going, like, they're in World War II. They're going to get sent out of London, and kind of like the time of Narnia. It was World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
these kids were going to get sent out of London, and they had actually just had a death in the family, and so they don't have any family. So they're looking for their forever home, and they get sent to live with a family out in the country. That first family, there's issues with the brothers they live with. The second family, there's issues because the mom is not a very good mom and is kind of taking advantage of having these kids around. And then you'll have to figure out what happens at the end of the book for these kids. But we really enjoyed this book. It was really, I enjoyed this as a read aloud. We read a lot of books aloud that, you know, I'm just kind of like, okay, we're going to read this loud because it's a, you know, positive story or whatever. This one was fun. There was like, reading it was just fun. I enjoyed this book. So those are the books we're going to take back to the library today. Big stack. We actually have probably 4 times this many books already in a bag going back to the library. But I wanted to mention our favorites, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Someone needs some snuggles and we're going to go get lunch so we can take a nap, right? Can you say bye to everybody? Watch the rest of the video and you will see him and Malachi and Uriah tell you about their favorite books that were in this stack. We'll see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. Bye.
And how the glory of God. This is my favorite book.
What's it about?
It's a hat in the person. And about.
Okay. Go ahead. It's a hat in a person.
And then they just do this.
Ooh,
Whoa.
very cool. Do you have another book?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll take that one. Thank you.
Then
Trying to open it.
this is my favorite book.
That's your favorite book too? About Mary Golda Ross.
Then this is a flying airplane.
Yeah.
Then this is a mom and dad.
Okay. We'll talk about her in a minute. That
Good
was very
job,
good. Thank
dude.
you. Now it's Malachi's turn. Malachi, what were your books?
A post office book, mail and how it moves. So it's about how we know how what's used in the post office for.
Good.
When this one, it's just all about what creatures do. And this one is what's happening. So it's like this when
Was that a good book?
yeah.
Look at the cool pictures.
Ooh,
See?
that's super cool.
Ooh.
Teaches you to look around and be observant.
Right? To explore the world around you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even see Lamb's body right there.
Shadow, yeah. That's super
Okay, you ready for Malachi to share his books? Good job. Sorry.
Alright, you're right.
You're ready to share his books, Malachi. Good job.
This one is about a person that had to leave to America, and then people in America didn't say his name right, so he painted on his white shirt a sun and a goal, so they knew he was single.
Fungal. Okay, we gotta say it right. Yep.
And this one is about a mechanic that makes stuff. So, and it talks about like, or in one of
That wasn't
them.
bad.
In it, like this one, it shows like the alarm clock rings. I wake up and pull the cord, which opens the curtains and stuff. So that was fun. And I found eggs, 1, 2, 3, and it's about how many eggs there are.
Are there 123 eggs?
It says 4 eggs of sky blue in a nest of grass, mud, branches in the backyard. Who will the babies be? 4 robin chicks with beads open wide, begging for to see one.
Oh.
And then
You love
Leah's
birds.
pony.
What?
This one is funny because she has a pony and then she sells it and then they have an auction and they buy it. It was like $1 for a tractor and stuff.
Ooh. I could use a $1 tractor.
And then here's Hidden Hope. It's about a toy ducky saving everybody's life.
A toy ducky saving?
Yeah.
I might need more development on that story.
We'll
Mama.
talk about it
So-
later. Go ahead.
And then I have Rainbow Weaver. She was trying to weave, so she made a loom. And then she didn't have anything to weave, so she ripped up plastic bags and made it string with those. And then the secret project is how atomic bombs were made.
Whoa.
Yeah,
It's a pretty deep book for a 7-year-old.
yeah.
Very cool.
That's all.
That's it for you? Okay.
What?
So what are you going to say? You going to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.